Thank you very, very much on all of that. I want to go to Alan Uckman right now because there's a separate story going on here that normally the markets would be much more affected than they appear thus far, and that is the collapse in oil prices. Again, we're well off our lows, but still, it began overnight, continued today, where a lot of oil prices, and as a result, some of those that have anything to do with oil are taking it on the chin. Alan Uckman following that very, very closely. What happened here? I mean, we had some steady days of gains and optimism that we were through the worst of it right now. I want to stress we were a lot lower earlier this morning. I'm looking at the June contract for crude oil. But what happened is the belief that this could take longer than thought. We got ahead of our skis. What?
Supply and demand. Now, last Monday was a very unique situation, something that none of us have ever seen before. That was just a unwinding of physical delivery contracts. It was just a little bit of a glitch in how people do that. And nobody should have been involved in that Monday move. They should have been out of their trades on that Friday. So those people that were still in it, that was a mistake on their part, and that's why they had no liquidity. But the markets operated properly. Let's go fast forward to where we are now. We're reflecting, what's happening in the marketplace, and we're making higher lows and lower highs than we have here recently. But I still look at it as somewhat positive. Look at the further out contracts. Look at the July, look at October, look at December. You're seeing signs of stability as we look further out. But these front month, because who wants the oil right now? Where are you going to put it? It's unfortunately much like the farmers are with too much milk. They just kind of have to dump it in the fields.
All right. Now, in the case of oil, they have to dump it in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, or if they can, apparently that thing could be getting tapped out. So, dumb question on my part, but what happens to all of this oil? I mean, all these tankers with oil coming here, where does it go?
Assumed in different shades of the marketplace. But I think what we want to focus on here is the opportunity. If you look at, there's a lot of oil and energy stocks that have been making a bottom pattern here and forming a nice base. I've been looking at, Halliburton, Schlumberger, COP. So there are a number of trades. And for me, it's all about risk reward. That's what trading is about having the right risk reward. And I think there's upside potential. We've also heard this week that the government's looking to, how shall we say politely, subsidize or support the energy sector. And they're going to do anything they can, obviously, with the election coming up. And we've also heard just today, I heard the phrase, not likely. When has the Fed, or when has, whenever we heard the comments that we're not likely to buy stocks for the Fed? I mean, that's an amazing fact. So let's see if that's supportive of markets. But I like the price action, and I'm a price guy. I try not to think too much. And if you look at the price action, we've had a very strong momentum move back above the halfway point of this drop from the top. That's very, very positive. And every time that's happened in history, it's made new all-time highs.
All right. Watching that with fingers crossed, to your point. Alan Uckman, thank you very, very much. We are getting a little bit more on this meeting at the White House with the president and the Florida governor, where he talks about things picking up steam as the year rolls on, particularly in the third and fourth quarters. Also talking about providing potentially relief for consumers or the meat industry itself. I couldn't discern what the relief meant or what that comment meant. But this occurs at a time with all the closing of plants